Welcome to another episode of Star Citizen. I'm NINTHSKULL, and today I want to talk to you about large ship destruction. Now, it's been a while since I made my last video, and I would like to apologize for that. I got very busy and kind of got thrown out of the loop of things, but now I'm back. So, anyway, I've been wanting to make this video for about 3 weeks, but didn't because there isn't really that much information out there about it. But luckily for me, just this week, CIG released 2 new shows which actually addressed it a bit. So, here are my thoughts on large ship destruction in the future, what I would like to see, what we know now based on developers' comments, and the damage models. So, I started thinking about this idea when we first saw the Idris a few months back, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but also when we saw the first multi-crew demo between the Constellation and the Hornet. I believe that was Gamescom 2015. This video showed a very early stage depressurization and hull compromise system, and that excited me a lot because it will add a lot of options when boarding or dealing with boarding parties on a ship, which is what I ultimately want to be doing in Star Citizen in some form or another. Now, we know that damage and depressurization will be localized to connected areas of a ship, but will stop wherever it meets a blast door or airlock. So currently a ship can only take a certain amount of damage before it actually blows up, and none of the ships that we have right now are currently large enough for anyone to survive a reactor meltdown, in my opinion. You'll see here in this Constellation explosion, when the final explosion happens, you can see that fire kind of fills the entire ship because it's all kind of one room separated by 3 doors, the whole ship. So, the only localized destruction we see right now is in the form of thrusters detaching and wings falling off. Again, the Constellation video here. So, there are no areas where people could be trapped inside or separated from the rest of the ship. One exception to this is we have the Freelancer now that when it is fully destroyed, it splits into 3 compartments, but when that happens, everyone in the ship is killed, and I'll talk about that in a second as well. Coming up in the near future, we will have the Idris, and very soon we will have the Starfarer. Since it is the closer one to being done, I'm mainly going to be talking about the Starfarer here, since it's already in the hangar and will probably be flyable in the immediate future. So, what would happen if a ship broke in two with people in both halves in Star Citizen? Well, in episode 7 of 10 for the developers, they revealed their ideas about this. Here, they basically said that right now they're working on ship destruction so that an explosion will affect the proper areas, since right now when your ship reaches 100% damage, everyone inside is killed automatically. So they're going to be fixing that so that someone inside in an area that didn't blow up will potentially be fine. With this new system they're working on in place, they did say that it would be possible for a properly equipped player, so someone with an EVA suit or maybe armor, inside to survive their part of the ship breaking off, but they're going to have to make a solution so that players do not become trapped indefinitely, because as you can imagine that would suck a lot. Maybe an auxiliary power system to open up airlock doors of their chamber, even if it's disconnected from all the power plants of the ship. Now, the devs also added, however, that if your neck is destroyed, you're just basically dead. Basically, if your ship reaches a destroyed state, anyone inside will likely die. However, I don't think this will be the case for much larger ships. Several weeks ago we received a sneak peek from ATV showing a Starfarer with its neck completely snapped off. Despite this massive destruction that was described by the developers in episode 7 of 10 for the developers, the whole ship was still clearly intact with little damage to the main body other than that neck snapped off. So I actually believe that the Starfarer is going to be flight ready quite soon, and I believe it is going to have a pretty detailed damage model when it is. And here's why. So in the ATV ship shape for the Starfarer released 1 week ago, some of the stairs were not working properly, and Jared Huckabee, who was hosting the show, fell through the ship several times. As this happened, we can clearly see the internals of the ship, a complete framework of orange metal not only on the exterior of the ship, but also between compartments in the middle of the ship. So from that we can surmise that the whole ship is going to be destructible, and every single compartment can kind of blow up and have, the metal stripped off of it, and so you can see the interior. Yeah, I think the damage model for that is already pretty much done. So in the future, I would imagine we'll be seeing a very realistic system in which one could actually destroy an Idris or hit an Idris with something in such a way that it would actually split in half, or something along those lines. But much of the crew would still be visible inside because, as they said, they don't want to have the current model of 100% destruction of your ship, therefore everyone inside is dead. they're going to actually have it be modeling damage to the crew inside realistically. So, assuming that, even if an Idris was broken in two, much of the crew would still be visible inside, running or floating around trying to survive, trying not to get sucked out from the depressurization. So this is something that I would certainly love to see in the game, and would be something that I don't think we've ever successfully seen in a video game before. But let me know in the comments if you know of a game that's done this, because I don't. And how cool would that be? Imagine you've lowered the shields of a capital ship and you start firing missiles at it, and you're making giant craters in this giant vessel, and that reveals the interior where squadrons of Marines are firefighting and trying to not be sucked out of the ship, or maybe the gravity generator's down and you can see them floating around, but they're all trying to still go about their jobs or stay inside the ship and just fighting to stay alive. And I think that will be a really awesome situation. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today, so let me know in the comments how you would go about splitting an Idris in half, assuming you can in the final game, because I think that would be really awesome, and I think there would be some really unique ways of doing that if you can. So, other than that, I would like to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for new content weekly. I'm NINTHSKULL, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.